Hello and welcome to part 2 of my wrap-ups. So today we are wrapping up 10 books, I think. Last time we had like 12. So if you haven't seen that, I will link that one up in the cards. And yeah, let's just get into the rest of the books I read for January. So the first book I read was The Cockroaches, which is the second book in the Haikyuu series. And in this one, we are following Harry. And this time, he is going to Thailand as an ambassador. A Norwegian ambassador was found dead. And he in a brothel. And now he kind of needs to figure out what is going on. And basically, Oslo wants him to hush the case. Like, up the case. So I gave these 3 stars. I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't like, it was a little better than the first one, but I still felt like it dragged. And it was a little boring. And yeah, I'm still going to continue on with this series. I have heard that some of the books are definitely better. So I think I would recommend reading the first one, just because in the second one there are like a character or two that are mentioned that you get to meet in the first book. And yeah, basically if you don't have read that one, you won't kind of know who he's talking about. And yeah, then the next book I read was Haikyuu. I think Haikyuu. And basically this is about volleyball. And it's about this guy who is called the Little Giant. He is really like small for being a volleyball player. But he wants to play. And that's what he does. And he wants to be the best volleyball player ever. So I get this 3 stars. I really did enjoy it. It was a good start, but it wasn't like my favorite graphic novel that I have read. But I will definitely continue on with this series. It has a really high rating. Then I read Black Girl Unlimited. And basically in this one we are following... this is kind of a memoir-ish magical realism book. So we are basically following this girl called Echo Brown, which is also the author's name. She's a wizard from the east side, and basically she goes to these different worlds, kind of, or not worlds, but yeah. And it's really sad, and I would definitely check out the trigger warnings. There are a lot of trigger warnings on this. I gave it 4 stars. I really did enjoy this book, and if you check out the trigger warnings, I don't think you should know too much about this book before going in. Yeah, this one was really good. It was really hard hitting. I mean, it was really tough to read because there are some trigger warnings in this book that that are really sad. And the next book I read was Bully, and in this one we are following Tate. And basically she is kind of bullied by this guy called Jared. And basically they used to be best friends, but then basically one summer he kind of went away, and then he came back totally different. And basically, Tate decides to take a year in France, and when she comes back, she decides that she is not going to let him ruin her. So she is going to fight back. So I gave this 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. I mean, I kind of got why he was mean, but on the other hand, I kind of don't get why he was mean. So yeah, I did like it. The reason why I didn't give it 5 stars was because there was like a few things that I did like about this book. The next book I read was Every Single Lie, and this is a new release, and it's basically about Beckett. And basically, no one seems to tell the whole truth, and basically her boyfriend Jake, he keeps on like hiding texts, and she thinks that he might be cheating on her. And then her father lied about losing his job right before he took his own life. And then like everyone is whispering behind her back because of her family. But then she finds a newborn baby, a dead newborn baby, in the gym, in a gym bag, which is Jake's, her boyfriend's gym bag. And when the word leaks, basically everyone thinks that Beckett is the mother. And as the police kind of unfolds this, she kind of finds out that everyone has a truth to hide. I gave this 4 stars. So this book really messed with my mind the whole entire time. But I mean, the ending, that was kind of shocking. So the main character kind of did get on my nerves from time to time. She really jumps to conclusions like that. It's like, oh, he must be doing that, she must be doing that. But you know, I can get her as well. She wants answers, and she's young. So you know, I mean, not everyone, but some like younger people, they really do that. They jump to conclusions even though they might should have waited. The next book I finished was Outlander, and this book is about Claire, and she's on her second honeymoon with her husband Frank in the Scottish Highlands. And basically, she and Frank, they kind of sees this ritual with like, let's call it modern witches. And basically, later on, she is going back to do some things at the stone circle that they were at. And basically, as she touched the stone, she is basically like whisked back to 1753, I think it's 43, 1743. And basically, now she is kind of captured there with the war between the Scotsman and the Englishman. And there she meets Jamie Fraser, or James Fraser, Jamie. And basically now she's kind of torn between 2 men, one in 1743 and one in 1945. So I gave this 5 stars. This is a reread for me. I gave it 4 stars the first time because then I was just like flying through it. Now I used like a day or 2 more and had some time to actually think about this. The next book I read was The Savior's Champion, and in this we are following Tobias. And basically, In this world, there are the firstborn, or kind of the a special family, are called the savior. This is the firstborn girl, and basically, when she comes out of age, they hold this tournament to, and the winner kind of becomes the winner, but also basically gets to marry her. And Tobias, he didn't plan to actually kind of get into the tournament. However, something is kind of going on with his family, and he decides that this might be the chance that I have. So yeah, that is the story. I give it 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it. There were like, I mean, I kind of saw things really early, but you know, I mean, if you have never read a book like this, I don't think you will kind of figure it out. But I have seen a lot of kind of books or movies like this, and I mean, me just having watched Star Wars, where this kind of same thing happens, I kind of understood what was going on. Kind of, not that these are, not that they are similar, but a trope in this kind of is similar. So the next book I read was No Bad Days. And this is the first book in a series called The Fisher Brothers. And in this, we are following Jess. And she kind of is like, she thinks that this player Nick is really hot, but she kind of don't want to really get involved. But then when Nick kind of sees her, he also starts to really like her. And so it's basically that. It's really short. It's like less than 300 pages. So yeah, I really did like it. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't like the best book I have ever read, but it definitely was good. And then the next book I read was a Norwegian book called Mendocity Secret, or You Don't Look Sick. And basically, this is about a woman, and she has ME, or myalgic encephalopathy, or something in those lines. ME. I have that, so she's basically telling the story about her life. And yeah, I really did enjoy this book. 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. I just really try to read kind of all books about this because I really like to see how other people talk about it and see. And the last book I want to talk about is Red Sister. And we are following Nana. And she kind of gets to this convent, and it's called the Convent of the Sweet Mercy. And they are basically raised to be assassin nuns. And I don't know if I kind of want to say more than that. I give it 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. I was a little confused, but that might have been me listening to the audiobook, or it might just be a me thing. I don't know, but I was a little confused, so 4 stars. But I will definitely continue on with this book. It was really interesting, and I will definitely continue on and see how it goes. But that was it for this wrap up. So it went really well. I read like 22 books, I think, which is really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and I hope I will see you next time.